So what it's like living with a 30-year-old car. Now, for those of you that have been following the channel for a little while, you know that I purchased this Volvo a while back. We replaced the engine in it, took care of some other mechanical issues that were necessary, and after an extensive paint correction by Dom over here, we were able to get this car looking way better than I could have ever imagined. There are a few things that I need to take care of in this car that are also typical quirks of something of this age. One of them being directly in front of Dom. So as you guys can see, I have this glove box and I can store things in it, but whenever I try to open it, that's gonna need to get taken care of, which we will do soon, and I think I have a plan for it. If you guys take a look at my trusty cup holder here, I've done that quite a few times already. Nothing really there. And if I put it here, it does that. So it opens my windows. So that's just one of the things you have to deal with when you have an older car that's designed a certain way. For my old school P80 Volvo folk, I have the infamous issue that we all hate and none of us really have a great fix for. Typical P80 dash. If I can find something used, I'll try to replace it, but again, one of those things that sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles, and with this car, this might be a battle that I'm not gonna pick. So, to add to the premise of this living with a 30-year-old car video, we're gonna be doing some work on Danny's car, Dom's car, and we're gonna be looking at some parts for all of our cars in the next coming footage. So Dom and I are heading out tomorrow to look at something very specific, so we'll see you then.
But wait, I don't have a 30-year-old car.
He doesn't, so stay tuned.
Good morning, everybody. As you can tell, Casper and I are taking a little bit of a Sunday road trip for some car parts. Want to fill everybody in, Casper? What's going on here?
Yeah, so you guys know how Dom was gonna detail the car for me to potentially sell
Flip it.
It looks so good. I am very heavily thinking about keeping this car long term, and with that in mind, it kind of changes the game plan a little bit because there's some things I would like to do to this car that will make it more enjoyable to drive, more fun to drive, more sporty. So we're actually gonna go look at a manual transmission and a full kit of everything that we need.
And for the people that grew up not striving to be a high school geography teacher driving a Volvo, they only came automatic, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is 100% accurate, so.
Hey everybody, nice to see you all again. Today we are going to get back to doing a little bit of work on the E30 here. I've been working a little bit to get a couple parts together, and we are going to be doing a 6-speed swap on the E30 for this season. I have gone through way too many 5-speed SR20 transmissions. People are buying them apparently for ridiculous amounts of money. So it's more cost effective for me to sell all the spares that I have and then pick up a brand new transmission and hopefully not have to change it again for many, many years to come. My good friends over at HTT Automotive, they're gonna be doing the swap for me. So today we are going to pull the transmission out of the E30, get that thing prepped, and hopefully drop that off to them this week. So the boys might be stopping by for some garage hangs. I've already got Ian over here. Say hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
So we're gonna get to doing some work, so let's see. How about it? For a car with so much access to certain things, it has such little access to others. Ian, Squire, it's time for you to earn your keep, Squire. That would be it. Much obliged. It was literally on by 2 threads. Damn this thing. Oh no, that's like, actually looks really nice though. Oh. What the hell is that? I don't know if that comes out on the camera, but that looks to me like a bolt. That sure don't look good, whatever it is. So. Scrumptious. And this is why we're no longer trusting in SR20 transmissions. Have a look at this. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we got the swap.
Oh, really?
Yep, bought it. $300 less than he was asking.
Ooh. Not bad. Well, I'm over here, have the channel on my back, so maybe you guys want to make your way over here and actually help out for a change?
When my uncle's hamster's in town, dude, I'm gonna try.
Oh, dude. Understood. Understood.
I'm allergic to physical labor, so I'm
Yeah, Dom, we're fully aware. All right.
See you soon.
All right, very good. Goodbye. Can I work now? Okay. Nice to know. A lot of time. All right. That's that. You'd almost think that I've done this before.
Casper, you want to give a little bit of an update?
So obviously we just got off the phone with Danny. We were able to get the transmission and all of the stuff with it, the full kit. The guy wasn't really too thrilled about having a camera in his face, so totally understandable. Not everybody's as glamorous in front of the lens as we are. But yeah, we got everything we wanted and needed. We may actually have gotten a little bit of an Easter egg. It looks like there's a short shifter plate for the transmission in the box of parts that the guy gave us. So we can confirm that a little bit later, but we're gonna stop by Danny's house and see how he's getting on with the work that he's doing. All right, everybody. So Dom didn't make it to Danny's garage. I'm the only one here.
He was afraid of working.
I picked up my parts today. I think we got a really good deal. And in that meantime, as you guys saw earlier in the video, Danny was working on getting that 5-speed that he bought in Charlotte out of the E30.
Yeah, so we got the transmission out of the car today. We're gonna go with a Nissan 350Z transmission that you can buy brand new from Nissan. And that will be the new trans and hopefully the last trans I put in this car. With the 6-speed, you actually get a shorter third gear, so third becomes a lot more lively, and that's a problem I have in this car. It's good that I did pull this because there was a couple things. I showed you that clip when I was draining the fluid that I actually had a piece of metal come out of this transmission. I found that the input shaft bearing plate was leaking fluid as well. But yeah, so this transmission's junk, I'm pretty sure.
So it's for sale on Marketplace?
Yeah, if anybody wants a paperweight for $150, it's yours. We're gonna get the car over to HDT. They had to cut the bell housing, and then you weld up the bell housing adapter so it bolts to SR20. So they're gonna get all that taken care of for me. Yeah, we should be ready to go for the season.
I like the way you're handling that pipe. So that'll do it for this segment of the video. Now, you guys already saw, we picked up the manual. I picked up a clutch for it preemptively, just in case. And
the last clutch in the country, mind you. Let's build a car that you can't get parts for.
so from a mechanical perspective, the manual transmission is the biggest hurdle that I want to modify on that car in order to make it something that I want to keep long term. But there are some aesthetic pieces of the car that I want to take care of that will make it a lot more enjoyable to drive and more fun to look at on a daily basis. So one of the biggest drawbacks of this car's interior is the steering wheel. Now, this is a standard two-tone US market 850R steering wheel, but being almost 30 years old, you guys can tell it's definitely seen better days. Now, your standard replacement can be had for pretty cheap and it's fairly available. If you want to step it up a little bit, you can look into a Volvo 960 wheel, which is all wood all around, or you can look into some sort of variant of a wood trim, wood grain, etc. wheel from the European market. I like them all, but I wanted something a little bit different without going full aftermarket, Momo, Sparco, etc. And so I was able to find another version of an OEM wheel that isn't quite OEM. Check it out. So what we have here is an OEM refurbished wheel by a company in Germany who puts their own wood inserts into the steering wheel in order to match the wood trim of the Volvo 850R. I love the way it looked, figured I would try this instead of the common route, so let's see how it looks. Well, this is a problem. This airbag does not fit this wheel. That's a huge issue. Man, that sucks. And that just goes to show you that even though you may be familiar with a car and think you know the ins and outs, sometimes you just don't know everything about it. So to briefly explain, the Volvo 850 never received a steering wheel update in the United States. The Volvo 960, however, did about halfway through its cycle. So my dilemma was trying to fit an old airbag onto an updated steering wheel. Fortunately, I was able to find the correct airbag. Now, there is a little bit of an issue, but it will be fixed and I'll explain how. The issue is that the airbag fits, but it's not the same color. Fortunately, a buddy of mine does automotive interior repair and he told me that he should be able to match that airbag to the steering wheel, no problem. So the steering wheel should be installed pretty soon, but in the meantime, I wanted to touch on the manual swap that Dom and I acquired. We were able to get the transmission, shifter cables, the shifter itself, a few of the lines, both cylinders, the pedal box and some of the clips, and as I mentioned earlier, I preemptively ordered a clutch just in case this swap was going to happen. Now, of course, there were certain parts that were missing and needed to be purchased anyway, so those are on the way, and hopefully we'll be able to get that job done pretty soon. Now, speaking of future plans, we have Wookiees coming up, and we all have some prep to do to get ready for that trip. But oddly enough, some of that prep lies in the drawer in this desk.
I guess I have a 30-year-old car now.
What the fuck did I just miss?
And on that bombshell, we finish up this video. We'll see you guys in the Wookiees prep. Thanks for watching and see you soon.